What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris the Atari Creep here. Let me take a sip of my coffee. I just want to get something out of the way real quick first, okay, before we get into this. All right, first and foremost, this is going to be a long-winded discussion. An idea was put into my head. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But if watching some fat, toothless fuck from Boston with a filthy mouth talk about E.T. from 2600 is not your cup of tea, by all means go ahead and dump it out and get yourself a Coke or a beer or something. This video will not be the one for you. But if you are the type that enjoy watching me just sit there and talk to a camera, because I haven't done the stand and talk thing in a long time, then by all means stick around. I really do appreciate it. But either way, no harm, no foul. So what is it about E.T. for the 2600 that has grown to the point where it has its own fucking mythology? Yes, I know it's a flawed game. There are two camps. It's the worst game of all time. And most of those people are the ones that just follow what they see and hear on the internet. And then you get the people who's like, it's not the worst game. It's a fun game, but it's flawed. And, you know, you have to read the manual and understand how to go with it. You know, and there's a few in between, but not too many. So you got these two split camps. Let's go back to like 2005 real quick. I'm gonna be all over the place here. I'm on the internet and I'm searching around for whatever I'm searching around for. I'm on YouTube, I know that for a fact, and I stumble upon some guy called the Angry Nintendo Nerd. He hadn't changed his name yet. And I believe it was his Friday the 13th episode. The guy fucking cracked me up. It was just a great video. So I decided to binge watch what I could find of his at the time, not realizing he had a website and all that. Now, I had already started collecting video games at this point, and I didn't really reach out to anyone on the internet. I thought it was kind of like a lone wolf thing, that there weren't too many people involved in this. You remember at that point, people were, I mean, even a little bit before that, people were like, really? People still want this shit? When you'd go to yard sales asking, hey, do you have any Atari or Nintendo or Sega? They'd be like, they'd have to dig it out. But so I really wasn't active in the online game community at the time. I didn't know it even truly existed aside from, say, Classic Game Room, which was, again, just its own little thing. Then I find this cat. So I watch all his videos, and you know what? And it's weird because the very first thing that came to my mind after binge watching him was, I wonder if this guy's going to do E.T., which now kind of pisses me off that I would even say that. But again, what is it about this game? I hadn't even thought about this game in forever. But of course, it's the one that came to mind. And as we all know, history has shown that throughout his career, it was his number one requested game, and it was the basis for his actual full-length feature film, which is funny. I do like the movie. So let's go even further back to 1982. Creep is 7 years old. He goes and sees E.T. I remember distinctly standing at the Revere Showcase Cinema in this long-ass line for hours waiting to get in. And the movie comes on, we finally got in. And the first few minutes scared the shit out of me because I was a bit of a pussy. And after the movie starts to, reveal what's happening and it starts to unload on us, I start falling in love with it, as pretty much all of America and the rest of the world did. It was such a fantastic movie, but there was just something about it that really struck me personally right here. I believe it had to do with E.T. being a loner. He was all alone on this planet. And at the time, I felt similar, within my own home as well. As school, and I was always a little bit different. I was always either into something that others weren't. My brothers and sisters were much older than me, so I didn't really have them to bounce off of. So I found something in E.T. that was in me. So I believe that's why the Creep latched onto him. So E.T. as a character is a personal thing for me. It's not just something retro and cool and hip and nostalgic. So we see the movie. And of course now I want everything that has the fucking words E.T. written all over it for toys and whatever. So Christmas comes around. And sure as shit, I get a whole ton of E.T. merchandise for Christmas. Oddly enough, and I've mentioned this before, my parents and my grandmother talked, get them E.T. stuff. And they somehow got the exact same things. I got the same 2 lunch trays. I got the same plushie, which wasn't, I didn't get that stupid pleather one. That one always fucking bothered me. I got the same 2 lunch boxes. However, the one thing I did only get one of, and it's weird, I didn't even mean to talk about this, but fuck it, I'm going to anyway. They had this finger that you would put on your finger. The idea was it was like a sheath that you would put on, like a condom. And if your finger was long enough, when you touch something, you'd activate a button and the tip would light up. Fair enough, right? E.T.'s finger was long and it lit up, right? The problem is apparently it looked like a dick. And now looking at it, yeah, it looks just like a dick. And I thought people just thought I was strange running around with this big alien finger. It turns out that they were looking at me strange because I had a dick on the end of my finger and I was poking everyone with it, trying to get it to light up. But long story short, I got tons of E.T. stuff that Christmas. And of course, with that came the Atari 2600 copy of E.T., which I was excited about. I knew it was coming. The TV showed it left and right. I seen it in magazines. Of course, I begged and begged and begged. And Santa Claus provided. So I opened this thing up. And the one thing I have to really make note of is E.T. was is the only game I can honestly recall opening. I know I've opened other 2600 games. I mean, we didn't have a lot. We had a stack of them. And I know I opened a handful of those new. But I don't recall doing it. The game just, in my mind, just showed up. E.T. is the only one I truly remember tearing the shrink wrap off of, opening the box. And I remember I didn't want to even put my hand in. I just ripped the face of the box off, and I pulled out the cartridge. Box went behind me on the floor, and I'm pretty sure my mom was there with a trash bag, picking up my wrapping paper and trash, and just cleaning up, because we had family coming over, so we had to do that quick. And along with that, the box and the manual probably went in there. So, stoked. 7 years old, E.T.'s my pride and joy. I popped the game in. This pops up. I'm excited now, okay? I want to be E.T. Look, it's fucking E.T. I mean, you can't deny it. Some people pick on it, but you know what? That, for the Atari, that is an amazing representation of an alien. Instantly recognizable. The music, I do have this on mute. The music was so Atari, but it was the theme. It was very recognizable, and it was done well. So I start the game, and we all know the story from here. It's no different than really anybody else, unless you're some kind of fucking genius, or you read the manual. Ship comes down. Still, sounds are blowing my mind. This is Atari. I can't believe it's making this noise. And E.T. gets off the ship. The ship disappears. Now it's my job to get this cat home. I love this dude. I want him to get home to his people. I start walking around. I end up on another screen. I fall in a hole. We all know the hole dilemma, okay? So I finally figure out some tricks to get out of the hole. That was my first hour with this thing. The fucking holes. And I'm walking around trying to figure this game out. You understand, 1982, the majority of the games that we had, they were simple pop in, turn on, and play. I mean, it wasn't really much to them. They were still fun, and they still had their own little deal. But like Space Invaders, even if you've never even heard of Space Invaders, if I put that on and gave you a controller, it wouldn't take you long at all to figure out what to do. So the majority of the games were like that. This was not like that. I wasn't used to it, but it made me even more excited to play because it was now an adventure game finally. And I'm walking around, I'm finding little dots that I'm assuming are Reese's Pieces, and these 2 different people are coming and humping on me and taking me places, and I know I got to find some pieces of a spaceship phone, and I keep falling in the pits, and the only thing I can find is a fucking flower, and I'm just getting frustrated. So after a little while, I just turned the damn thing off and forgot about it for a few hours. Later on that night, tried it again. Still couldn't do it. Now, unfortunately, we had a whole Christmas vacation, about a week and a half. So I had all that time to sit here and try and figure this game out. And without that damn manual, I just couldn't. And it frustrated me to no ends. On a personal level, I was genuinely sad for 2 reasons. One, I was so excited for this game, and it turned out to be crap. I wasn't used to that with Atari. All the games that we did have were decent games, so I did get lucky that way as a kid. I knew there were bad games out there. This was my first true experience with getting a game and being fully disappointed in it. On top of that, I was the most excited about this one. and I had a connection with ET. We were both the loners. We already talked about that. I hope I did. So I genuinely got sad, not even so much mad or disappointed. Again, a little bit of a pussy, right? I'll admit it. So I forgot about it for a while. Every now and again, I'd pop it in for morbid curiosity. And that was it. And I let it go. So now all these years go by. I finally do read the manual. And I play the game and I finally beat it. No big deal. We all know the truth about ET, regardless of what people talk about on the internet. You know, it's a flawed game. It's got a really cool mechanic to it. I mean, you think about how Scott Warshaw had such a limited time to have it made. Never mind the time that they had to market it and produce it and then put it into stores. It was an impossible task. But what came out was, in my opinion, a masterpiece for what someone was able to do in that short of time. Sure, it has its flaws, but it really is miraculous what he was able to do with that time and his knowledge. It just turned out that it didn't pan out for anybody. But I was able, again, to eventually pick up the game. I've played it a handful of times, and I've beaten it 2 or 3 times, and it is frustrating, but it's a great game once you get past all the little dealios. So now let's talk about what I'm trying to build up to here, okay? I'm going to play you a little clip, and this is what actually sparked this video, but I just felt like all that other bullshit needed to be thrown in here too.
I apologize. Right here it is. I'm sorry. I could have taken maybe another couple of days and really fixed some of the basic problems of the game. But honestly, by the end of that time, I was so sick of the game, I did not even want to look at it anymore. And the truth is, if I would have tweaked it and fixed a couple of the major problems in the game, we might not be here talking about it right now.
So I watched that. I watched the whole thing. It was an extra on the Angry Video Game Nerd movie disc. And I got to thinking to myself, you know what? A lot of these bad games from back in the day that people still enjoy have had the treatment. Castlevania 2. Somebody pulled the ROM off of that and fixed most of the flaws. There's a handful of games. Atari, Pac-Man for the Atari. People have gone in there and actually made their own versions of it. And all kinds of stuff. And to my knowledge, there is not a single copy of ET out there that somebody has fixed. And I wonder why. Is this game just so sacred that no one dare touch it? Is it because people honestly think it's the worst game of all time and they just couldn't fucking be bothered with it? So I guess what I'm saying is I'm imploring anybody out there, Howard Scott Warshaw, if you just so happen to see this video, I know you have a whole nother career going on and you're probably done with video games altogether. But anybody, if someone could pull the ROM off of one of these cartridges and just, as he said, take a day or two to fix a few things, I want to play that game for personal reasons. I want to play Howard Scott Warshaw's Full Vision. Now, I know this wasn't a big, in his head. He was just told to make this game in under 6 weeks or whatever it was, and he did it. But there was a lot of thought behind this game in that short period of time. And what could have been obviously didn't come to be. And I want to play that game. So this is the Creep sending out the message right now. If anybody that's watching this has the ability to pull the ROM, put it into your little stupid computer machine, and you can fix the bugs without actually changing the game, I will buy that. More so, I would like to also be part of that. I don't know how to do the game thing, but I will promote the hell out of it. I will create things for it. I will buy it. Hell, I can't even tell you how much I want that to happen. So now I'm rambling on. So, Howard Scott Warshaw, or any of you other smart cats out there, please, I beg you, can you grab this game and just fixed a few flaws that were going on with it. I prefer Howard Scott Warshaw because he knows exactly what he was talking about as far as what things he needed to fix. But I'm sure by now everyone else does too. So that's all I really had to say. E.T. was still is a big part of my life. I got a whole bunch of figures up here of him, and I do plan on collecting more. I've read the manual. I just recently got this again. But what I do find fascinating, and I'm sorry, I'm still going on, is they knew the flaws were there. Now, I don't know if this piece of paper came initially, or if it came with, like, say, a second edition, second print of the game. But they talk about the flaws like they're a skill level thing. And the wording in here is beautiful. If you've never seen this before, I will read it eventually on film, on camera. I knew they fucked up a little bit, but regardless, it's not a bad game. So that's it, guys. I mean, what are your thoughts, I guess? You know, do you think someone should tweak it a little bit? Do we deserve a good copy of E.T. for the Atari 2600? And by good, I mean just tweaked so some of the flaws are gone. Could you care less? Let me know in the comments below. But I really do. I pray. I hope that happens someday. I'd probably put a tear to my eye if I could sit down, grab a joystick, and play the game the way it's meant to be played. So with that, guys, thank you so much for putting up with this video. I know it's long, but I just had to get it out. And with that, I hope everyone's doing well. Take care. Hey, what's up, folks? The Creep here. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more. You can follow The Creep on social media, and feel free to reach out at any time here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Creep would love to hear from you. And as always, thank you, take care, and bye-bye.